Hey guys, I'm Harshit from 3labanimation.com, and in this video we're gonna learn modeling a bit advanced. In the previous video we modeled a teddy bear using simple spheres and cylinder. In this video we're gonna model a simple phone. Alright, so here's the phone model. Let me just drag it and drop it here. If you drag and drop, the images will be exported as plain, but their angles won't be good. So I'm going to show you how to do it properly. Go in the front option, then drag and drop the phone. Yes, that's it. Now the easiest way is to just place the phone wherever you want to create the model. Let's just leave it there, or we can just bring it up here. And you have to think about it. What's the best way to create a phone, right? So say if we create a cube and scale it along the y-axis. Okay, so it would become slim in the y-axis. And then if we just scale it along the z-axis, this is the z-axis, we'll get somewhat the shape of the phone, right? So let's do that. Shift A to bring a cube, and let's just shift it a bit backward. Alright, then scale it along the y-axis. That's enough, I guess. It's Nokia 3310. That should be enough, right? Now if you go to the front, and it would have been great, right? It would be great if you could just see through this cube, right? So if you just press this button here, well, the cube disappeared. No, it didn't. It just, now we are just seeing the X-ray version of this cube. See, this is the solid version, this is the material, and this is the render version. We'll go to that part later, but for now we just need this X-ray version. Now if we press the tilde key and go to the front view, we can see this is our cube and there lies our phone. Alright, so let's just scale it along the x-axis. The x-axis is the red. Okay, here it is. This much is okay. Now if we press again S along the z-axis, we will get the height right. Now press G and Z to just size it along perfectly. Alright, now let's go back again. Now you can see that we have this shape, but it's not proper, right? What if we could bend it along here? Let me show you what I mean. Let's just go to this X-ray version again, and the shortcut for that would be to go into the X-ray mode would be Shift and Z. If you just press Shift and Z, you can go in the X-ray mode. I'm pressing Shift and Z. Alright, now if we could just edit these parts. What if we could edit these points individually, right? It would be convenient. So for that we're gonna go into the edit mode. This is the object mode where we treat the whole object as one single object. Now if we go to the edit mode, well, you can see that we have vertex. Now if you press G and just move it, see, you can manipulate each vertex. like we did to the object earlier. Earlier when we pressed Z, we could move the whole object. Now we're just moving a single vertex. If we select two of them, we can manipulate two. Similarly this side. Okay. Now this is the vertex. Now if you press 2, you can select an edge. And if you press 3, you can select a face. This way you can manipulate as you wish. Alright. Now that's that. Let's go to the front mode. Press 1 and then press Shift C to see through. Now if you press S and X, you may notice that we are only we are only scaling the upper vertex which we wanted, right? Alright, so just let us bring it here, S and X. Now if we press G and Z, okay, this is okay. Now if we just select these two and press S and X, we can sort of bring them here, which seems good, okay. But now you may notice that although we have the top and the bottom part somewhat okay, but we've totally messed the middle section. Well, you may notice that if we select only a vertex, we are able to manipulate it as a whole, and we don't have any control in the middle section. So how do we get controls here? Well, that could happen if we divide this into several small parts. Let me show you what I mean. If you press Ctrl and R, you can bring several loops. If you Let me show you again. If you press Ctrl and R, you can bring a single loop. Now if you move the middle mouse button up, you will increase the number of loops, and if you move down, you will decrease the number of loops. So now we increase the number of loops. I think this two would be okay for this example. Now press the left mouse button to confirm it. You have to confirm the number of, press the left mouse button to confirm the number of loops, and then press the right mouse button to leave it in the original location. Now if we go in the X-ray mode, just select these two and press S and X. We have it here. Now select these and S and X. We have them here. Now we somewhat have that simple shape, right? But we still don't have that simple shape. So if we go in the front mode again, and let's see what we are missing. We press the Shift and Z. You can see that if we could somehow fix these parts, we'll be getting the overall shape, right? So how do we fix that? Well, that is simple. We can do that by simply increasing the subdivision surface. Now you might be wondering what happened. Let me just undo it. I just went in the add modifier section and increased the subdivision. But you might say that, well, we didn't see that happen. Well, the shortcut for that is Control and 2. If you press Control and 1, you're gonna have only one level of subdivision. If you press Control and 2, you're gonna have two levels of subdivision. Now if you go to the edit mode, or if you just press tab, which I did earlier, you can go in the edit mode directly. Now if you press R again, you can manipulate the endpoints. The closer they are, the tighter the endpoints would be. Let me show you again. You see here the vertex are very far apart, right? So we have a smooth surface. Now if we just bring a loop and make them tighter, you can see that now we don't have such a smooth surface. We don't have that curve, right? And somehow we're getting that shape. Now let's do the same thing down, and it seems that we'll have to, yeah, that seems good. Let's just fix these everywhere, and let's just fix these everywhere. Let's just fix these as well. And let's just say it's shade smooth. But you may notice that it's not exactly the shape of a phone. From the front it looks okay, but from the side it's not exactly the shape of a phone. So how do we fix that? Well, you can see that since these edges, these vertices are too far away, we have that curve going on. If we bring a loop here, you can see we get that tight edge, right? Similarly, if we do that in the oops, similarly we do that this side. Now we have that shape, right? Well, it seems that, yeah. Okay, now it's looking better. You may also notice that the top and the bottom part, they are a bit upward, right? They are a bit up here and a bit more down here. So let's just press Ctrl R, give it a loop here, and then go into the extreme mode by pressing Shift C, and then slowly we just move it in the Z direction by pressing G and Z. That looks okay. Similarly here, G and Z. Okay, that seems fine. Okay. Alright. So the next part is the screen, right? So how do we do that? Let's go and Shift and C, and let's go in this X-ray mode, press 2 to get the edge and double click, or you can just press Alt and left click to select the whole loop. So you go in the front mode and press G and G again, G twice. If you press G and G twice, let me show you. If we press Alt and left mouse button, we are gonna select the whole loop. Now if we press G twice, we are gonna move it. No matter where I move this, it's gonna move along the geometry. Okay, so let's dive into how we're gonna get this screen. So if we press G twice, we can just shift this here. Similarly, if we press Alt and left click, we can now bring this one here. Let's see if the shape is disturbed. Yep, somewhat. So let's just go here and just bring in the edge. Okay. Okay. Now if we press 3 and go in the face selection, we can select these two by pressing Control. We can select two faces. Now if you just press I, you can see. If you press I, we can insert them. So let's just see how we're gonna do that. I shouldn't have moved them so much here. Now let's just press 3, go in the face selection and just select these two. Now just press I to insert them. I'll insert them again using the diagram, the picture. Okay, so we have the upper portion and the lower portion set. Okay, now we just need to fix these both, right? So if we just select these and if we press twice, you can see that we can move this along this line, right? So let's just go in the front view and just fix it accurately. Yeah, this seems okay. Similarly for this side, press double G, G twice, and this seems okay. Now we press 3 and go into the face selection mode. Now if we press E, we can just extrude them either outside or inside. Since here we need inside, so we're gonna extrude them inside. Remember, just press E and they will automatically be extruded along the z-axis, their local z-axis. Okay, but this isn't how we want, right? So if we press I again, we somewhat get the shape, but still not. So if we press loop, we bring another edge loop, and now we have that shape. You can see that, right? We have that shape. Now for the next of these buttons, we are gonna simply go into the front and using shift and right click, we're just gonna create a simple cube. Let's create this one. Shift A, press S, okay. Now we press R, okay. Now we go in the, let's see how it looks. Okay, that looks horrible. Let's scale it along the y-axis. Okay, this is looking good. Now if we go in the edit mode by pressing tab, we can manipulate each of these vertices according to our choice. So let's just fix them here. Okay, so that buttons looks good. Now similarly, we can just make these buttons, these keypads. So let's do it. Now since you see that this is a flat surface, almost flat surface, we just select all these faces and press I, and you can see that we get that look, right? Now you press G and Y to just move it a bit inside and probably rotate it along the Z axis. And similarly, we just copy this and pressing Shift and D, we just duplicate it. Now we can just mirror it along the phone. Let's see how that goes. Okay, perfect. Similarly for this one. Now this tutorial is getting too long, so I think it's better to end it early, right? Because we're still in the early stages of learning, and I don't want to bore the tutorial by making it long and elongated. So since you know most of the theory about how to model such simple stuff, we are gonna go to the complicated stuff in the next video. And if you like the videos, please like, subscribe and share. See you again in the next video.